says the Israeli military now it was a grave mistake. The errors that led to that deadly strike on a food aid convoy Monday in Gaza, killing 7 aid workers, including Canada's Jacob Flickinger. A report by the Israeli military into the strike states 2 Israeli officers have been dismissed, 3 others formally reprimanded. It also gives sobering new details of the strike itself, that one of the aid workers was mistaken for a Hamas militant carrying a gun. The gun, it later turned out, was a shoulder bag. And when the first vehicle was hit, survivors somehow scrambled into one of the other 2. Then Israel hit those as well. Says the World Central Kitchen Aid Group, Israel's apologies for the outrageous killing of her colleagues represent cold comfort. Said the U.S., Israel accepting responsibility is important, but
even more important is making sure that steps are taken going forward to ensure that something like this can never happen again.
And from the UN Secretary General,
but the essential problem is not who made the mistakes. It is the military strategy and procedures in place that allow for those mistakes to multiply time and time again.
All of this as the war in Gaza nears the 6-month mark Sunday. Sparked by that horrific attack by Hamas into Israel. In response, Israel's relentlessly brutal assault on Gaza. Tens of thousands dead and wounded, nearly 2 million displaced as famine looms.
I call for a vote on this text.
The UN Human Rights Commission voting on a resolution Israel be held to account for possible war crimes and crimes against humanity. It passed overwhelmingly.
Then the resolution is adopted by the Council.
And Paul, Joe Biden also spoke about his phone call with the Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, after that call, Israel agreed to at least temporarily open the big Erez crossing in northern Gaza to allow in more aid, as the U.S. had demanded. President Biden today saying they're doing what I told them to do. The U.S. is also demanding protections for civilians in Gaza and is pressing for a ceasefire that could free hostages. On that, this weekend, more U.S. pressure with the head of the CIA off to Cairo with a U.S. delegation for talks aimed at a ceasefire and hostage release. Lots in play right now, Ian.
Paul Hunter reporting from Washington.